Hello everyone, welcome back, and to part 2 of this match play between myself in the blue and Paul Morris in the orange cap and grey. Currently standing at Paul 1 up. We were all over the place, mostly me, somehow managed to stay level and then dropped back and came back. Here we are then, I've just made a birdie, so I'm up first. Paul has 2 shots up here like you just saw, so that's why I'm swiping at D stick here. Don't forget to stuff your fingers onto the like button and slap a subscribe. It is free and it really does help me out and lets me bring you sublime content such as this on a daily or weekly basis rather. Here's Paul then. Doesn't really need to do much with 2 shots. It's only 340 yards this 7th hole and he's just popped a fairway metal into the right rough. Here we go then. Second shot, he's a long way back, but he's in play and with 2 shots I'm basically scuppered here without all kinds of shambles. Fortunately he's hit a very ropey looking swipe across that ball and it's headed short right. And here I am after the perfect driver. Like I said, I normally just hit an iron for safety, a little 4-iron into the fairway so I don't end up in the nonsense. Fortunately hit a decent one there and I've hit that pin high, slightly left of target, but we're putting for birdie and we may have a chance. Mayhaps. Here's Paul then. Chipping was somewhat iffy in the first. Oh dear. And pure anger. Pure and utter rage. Look at him. What a noodle head. In the bunker then, and he's playing 4 suddenly. Very offering stance. Very iffy indeed. Has he got anything? He does actually. Well, he's got that on the green and he'll be putting for a 5 net 3, so we're basically lying the same, which is slightly annoying since he's played the hole like an absolute clown so far. And he's misread that as well, and you best believe that's not in the friendship zone. So stick a mark on that, my friend. Here I am then, putting for birdie, not an easy one. I mean, it was a damn sight easier than that is absolutely horrific from there. And now I've got real trouble to save my par. Oh my. Uh-oh, Spadoodios. I've lost my mind. And Paul now has a putt to win the hole and that just makes no sense. And he's done it. And I don't even understand what's going on anymore. Here you go, Paul. Here's a 2-up lead. I'll hand you that with gusto. So on to the 8th then. I've lost my marbles completely. I'm raging. And there's an iron from Paul just for position. 1 stroke down here this time. And I'm 2 down somehow after an appalling display of putting and something you will have probably come to expect now on the channel. So driver again then. Would never normally hit driver here either. But I've absolutely lost my mind, so we'll just bash one as far down there, and with a real ripple he could get on the green, but it's a bit soft. Pretty good one though. Paul's in the middle of fairway, as the Yorkshireman would say, i.e. me. And what can he do from here? Ha! Finally. That's turd. Fortunately for me. He's pulled that way left and a bit long, I think, and this is where my drive ended up. So I'm in the driver's seat, finally. I mean, I say that, I was in the driver's seat on the last and made a complete horlicks of that. And I've done the same there. Here's Paul then. Not a terrible spot, but he does struggle to get height on his chips, so he's having to play this down the slope. And he's actually done quite a good job of that. And he will have a reasonable effort at par. Which means if I don't hole this, he has another chance to win the hole and to further his lead and to increase my rage. That won't help. That's tragic. And this is to win the hole. Only just his turn. And he's popped it home, of course he has. Massive rim job, if you like that sort of thing. But Paul's 3 up and we'll move to the 9th. And suddenly I'm in a bit of shambles. I mean, I was in shambles before, but I was actually competing and now I've suddenly taken a massive turn. And I'm pretty sure Paul's just hit the green there with a stroke, so I basically have to hole out for any chance of winning, and probably a 2 just to half. That really is the difficulty of playing a high handicapper, but it's my own fault. And I've done a pretty similar thing to Paul, in all honesty. It's a pretty decent shot. I'm just on the green and Paul's just right of it. But a decent chip here is going to set the cat amongst the old pigeons again. And he's played that quite nicely. But yet again, I'm being a nasty Nigel and I'm making him put it because I have to at this stage. Here we go then. This has to go. But I've somewhat misjudged the line on that, but it has been conceded, and yet again Paul has a short putt to win the hole, which he has duly made, and my head's come clean off, and I'm going to drown myself in the pond. Shouldn't have said that. Anywho, Paul is now 4 up after winning God only knows how many holes on the bounce, and we have 3 holes left in this video. Don't forget to finger the like button. That would really help out the channel and the algorithms and all of that good stuff. As Paul's boffed one onto the green yet again, pin high, and I'm screwed. I need to start making something happen. I don't know what that might be, but I have to start putting the ball close. But the pin is at the back left of the green and the wind is quite strong from left to right, so I don't know how I'm going to get close. And I've hit a pretty decent shot there, just couldn't turn it over into that flag. So Paul then for a 2-net 1, and the impossible really. It's on a nice line actually, but he's left it short. Bit weak. So yet again, this is probably for the half. Hit another nice one. Hang on a second. What the actual F? Nobody can believe it, not even the dog. But it somehow managed to stay out, which it had to do, of course. I'm having that sort of day, and this to win the hole again and go 5 up, and he obviously makes it, and I'm in pieces. Things are getting away from me very quickly here, and could do with some shambolic golf from Paul here to help me out a bit. But that is not forthcoming, and that is plastered down the centre. My turn. Now things might look dire, but I can assure you I am not giving up. And if you stick around for part 3 coming a week from today, I will surprise you, I am sure of it. As I've pumped that one down the middle and somewhere similar to Paul. Which is a bit annoying because he does have a shot here. But this is where Paul's ended up, and this is very awkward.
Not against a shank out of bounds.
Yeah, wouldn't mind a shank out of bounds, like I said. Difficulty here is just committing to hitting the ball through one of those gaps. But if he does hit any of those obstructions, he can just replay his shot. But he didn't like that at all. Mind was all over the place, scrambled like an egg, and he's duffed that one down the left. However, he still has a shot, so he's not out of the hole by any stretch of the imagination. This is me, just left of the fairway. Bit of a difficult one with the ball above my feet and the wind right to left, but I've played a nice one and I'm on the green. So what can Paul do? Not his favourite yardage. This is about 55 to 60 yards. And you can see it there. We're finally seeing some capitulation from Druids Dave, as he's duffed that one somewhat, and he's quite some way short still. And we won't go into that too much, since that was a cold top which has somehow got to about 8 feet. And I'm a bit long. Misjudged the distance ever so slightly, but we still have a birdie putt, and maybe we can finally put one in the hole. And maybe... Oh, I've left it short again. What a surprise. Always been my problem, always will be my problem. What a shame. So this is for the half then, after playing the hole terribly after that tee shot. No freaking way. I mean, I should just expect it from now. But yet again, Paul has somehow pulled the cat out of the bag, the rabbit out of his hat, whatever. And he's still 5 up. He also has 2 strokes on this hole, so we need some support from him, which we may have got there, because that's gone a mile right. And maybe even too far right, even though the tee box area here is wide open. So can I step through the door? Not really. Fortunately, it's not as far right as his was, and I'll be alright just right of the trees, and I've probably got a free shot in. Unfortunately, Paul could not find his ball after a long wait. We let someone through while he ran back to the tee box to hit another one. Because if he could make par or a 6, he might still have the hole. And I wouldn't put it past him. I've chopped that onto the green. Couldn't really get enough right to left movement on that. But this is where his provisional ball and now in play ball ended up. And he's got a little bit of tree trouble. He just has to keep this low under those top limbs. And he's done that. And well, that's some of the more questionable chat to his golf ball, because the ball was miles short and he told it to sit. Don't know what he was thinking there, but he has a chip here, and this is him laying 5. Oh dear. That's similar to last time. He topped it onto the green. But we've seen it once and we'll see it again. Yeah, he'll probably hole that for a 4 and we'll have the hole somehow. This for birdie though, and this would end the hole and get me back to 4 down, and the comeback would be on. Don't forget to look out for the video coming a week today where you will see me come back insanely. Or so you'd hope. Otherwise it'll be a very short video, but trust me, it's a banger. So stick around for that, as Paul has missed his putt, and that will be the hole to me, and I'll see you next time.